The main character of my online graphic novel, Wysteria, exists in a place that is between the two dominant covens of Tourmaline and Greater Tourmaline. And that's the Greenery and the Gold Coven. She was born and raised in the Greenery Coven, and it's a place where tradition and respect and hierarchy is pretty standard for everyday life. As the story goes on, we'll find that the Golden Coven has reason to entice Wysteria and draw her over to the gold side. You'll learn more as the novel goes on, but the Golden Coven is a coven that is focused on power, hidden behind tradition, which is why within the world of the Lost Land Sage, all of the witches and men within the world just believe that power survives more through tradition than force, not knowing what's actually going on, but I'm getting ahead of myself. If you are listening to this part of the video and have absolutely no idea what the heck is going on, hello. My name is Tiara. I am the creator of the online graphic novel, The Lost Land Sage. This is my channel where I post updates, behind the scenes, speed drawings, what have you, as I am creating and sharing The Lost Land Sage. You can read more of this story at projectsage.thecomicseries.com, but I will humbly ask you to stick around for a little bit because I want to talk more about the little witch that I created that chose not to follow power or tradition and just forge her own very rough path. So, if that interests you, I'm happy to have you here. So I first want to talk about the Greenery Coven, which, again, it's a place where Wysteria was born and raised. To give a little setting detail of what the Greenery Coven looks like, it's earthy, it's overgrown, it has a lot of natural elements, it is stacked, and that's for a reason, just to feel like a unit, while simultaneously feeling a little bit claustrophobic. And that's really a lot of what the Greenery Coven is like for Wysteria. So the Coven right now, a lot of building structures, things are in disarray. We are not super close to the end of the Great Coven War, but there are still remnants of what happened within the war, and so the Coven right now is just really focused on rebuilding, regrowing, reestablishing the Greenery Coven, while also honoring the legacy of those that fought and helped the Coven be one of the two remaining. So I touched on this in the last video, but to reiterate here, there's a lot of pressure on Wysteria because a part of that honoring is of her grandmother, Senior Willow, and to an extent her own mom, who is a prominent witch within the Greenery Coven. Wysteria is expected to also be a very powerful and prominent witch within the Coven, to the point where the head of the Coven, Hedoran, doesn't even really see Wysteria as a person. She doesn't see her as a young witch who just lost her grandmother, trying to learn how to grieve. She just sees her as someone she can use, as an asset, as someone who has power and strength and who can help the Greenery Coven maintain that tradition. So this is the environment that Wysteria is residing in within the Greenery Coven. This is the world she was raised in. This is where the story is starting and taking place. A place that I've talked about, but have not really went into much detail on, is the Golden Coven territory. I find the Greenery Coven very difficult visually to draw because of the organicness of the nature aspect of it. It's very hard for me to be able to capture that chaos that comes with nature. However, with the Golden Coven, things are very sophisticated, sleek, formal, brick buildings, very rainy. And so within the rain, the goldenness of the lights are reflecting off of these really sleek buildings. So that is the Golden Coven. I haven't dove much into actually drawing the Golden Coven yet, but I'm really excited for when I do, because it is much more within my comfort zone when it comes to creating settings and scenarios. We haven't gotten to this part of the story yet, but soon it will be hinted at about how the coven head for the Golden Coven is stepping down. Now, the name of this head is Amelie. They do not call her head Amelie. She is just Amelie. The name itself reeks of power. That is who she is. She is feared. She is respected. And there are rumors, not proven, that she is corrupted. In fact, rumors stem so deep that she might be messing with magic that even the bravest of old witches and wizards from back in the before war times would not touch. So for people in Greenery territory, the idea of living in a place like the Golden Territory is something that gets mocked, I would say, just because within Greenery territory, it's very much based around democracy. Yes, there is Het Doran, and there's the Coven, and the witches within the Coven that hold all of the power, sort of like adjacent to the United States government. But within the Golden Territory, it's structured like a matriarchy, where Amelie is the, quote, queen, end quote. And her entire coven is more like a court than a group, an organized group. So for the Greenery territory, it is, like I said, it's mocked. It's like, I wouldn't want to live in a world where I am subject to this one person's rule, and we have no idea if this person is even a good person or not. Still, at the same time, some people who openly mock Golden Territory could very well be people who, behind closed doors, wish they were born there. So, when you think of Golden Territory, I think it would be best to think of control and prestige. Possibly in the underbelly, decay. Because, like in any situation where the money goes up, when you look down at the bottom of the pyramid, there are a lot of witches and mostly men within that underbelly that just are not having the best life. And that's actually where Autumn comes from. Autumn left the Golden Coven. She has 2 little twin brothers, and men within this world already have a hard time. But Autumn's family name has been dragged through the mud. Autumn was raised by her father, and again, men in this world do not garner respect, especially when they are at the bottom of the pyramid within the Golden Territory. So Autumn left to both give her brothers a better chance at a better life, as well as trying to carve a better life for herself now that her brothers are at an age where they can take care of themselves, which, depending on how you look at it, could be seen a little selfishly. But Autumn truly, and I want to get this across, she truly loves her brothers the most. So it is selfish on one hand, but also selfless on the other. Really, Autumn is just searching for stability. And she has found that a little, kinda, within Greenery territory, but who knows how long that is going to last. And then there is Pip, who, again, I've made a video about both Autumn and Pip, but with Pip, he is someone who, so I call him a delivery man, but let me give you a little bit more of a description of what it is exactly that Pip's job entails. He travels between the Greenery and the Golden territory, and he is one of those guys who, if one of the witches needs a specific gem from a specific cave, from a specific part of a still pretty war-torn world, Pip is the one who goes out into the wilderness, into the wilds, braves the elements and the creatures within the world, gets the stone, and delivers it to who needs it. That is Pip's job. And it boils down to just delivery man. So Pip really appears to just be neutral. He is everywhere. He's got eyes on everything. He sees way more than he says. And as far as we know, as of right now in the story, yeah, he's just around. He's a guy that's around. And then finally, my sweet baby angel, last but not least, Wysteria, who is not rebellious. She is not someone who is trying to fight the man, per se. She is quite simply hesitant. She is not sure yet. She understands that eventually she will have to join the coven. She just isn't quite ready yet. Wants to do more things with her life before she settles into a role that is, as far as she understands, for the rest of her life. She's just not ready yet. So with all three of these characters, the main three, Wysteria, Autumn, Pip, I think with all three of them, a common theme is that they lie somewhere between loyalty. Now, whether that's loyalty to, for Autumn, her brothers, to Pip, who knows yet, and to Wysteria, knowledge. That is for them to disclose when they're ready within the story. But there's also a place where they exist within independence, where they are on a journey to establish who they are, I guess you could say. Now, this whole story starts off with the implication of Wysteria trying to reach the Ever. And I think there's something special about that, because with Wysteria's hesitation, there's this place where she exists, not within Greenery territory or Golden territory, but somewhere that, like, neither coven has a sense of control over yet. At least, hopefully. We would hope, think, maybe. I'm doing a really bad job at not spoiling things. I'm doing my best. Hang in there, guys. But she is in a space where neither coven truly has control, the closer she gets to the Ever. And although the Ever at this point in the world is long lost legend, if and when Wysteria does find this place, it puts her separate from everything that I just talked about within both covens. It puts her somewhere other. With her in this place of other, this place where the covens have no power, it really starts to play with roles a little bit, starts to play with things that are well established at this point. And she is sort of the head of where all that happens. So it's interesting because I think although the Greenery and Golden territory are the last... although the Greenery and Golden Covens are the last standing covens, I think the reason and the way that covens came to exist has been a little bit forgotten, because they were not the only covens. They are just the only ones that survived the Great Coven War. But these covens came to exist from witches and a time long past wizards that desired for something greater, something more, something different than what already existed. And that's how these great covens came to exist. So I just want to pose that idea. What if Wysteria does, I don't know, find something other? Does she take control of that? Take control of something new? Does she share that with others or keep it to herself? Is the story truly Greenery Coven versus Golden Coven, or is there something else going on completely? I don't know. Well, I know, but I'm gonna pretend I don't know, so you guys don't know. But with that, I think I've said all I could say on the topic. So that is going to be today's lore portion of the video. I will say, if any of this has sounded interesting to you in any capacity, and you want to see what the heck I'm talking about, what the heck is going on, then I implore you to go and check out projectsage.thecomicseries.com. That is where I am uploading my online graphic novel. I upload pages every other Sunday. So it'll be next Sunday when 2 new pages come out. On the weeks that I do not upload pages, I upload YouTube videos. So you can hang out here, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like and comment, and get more videos for when the pages start coming out. Now that I've done all of that self-promotion in one fell swoop, I want to talk a little bit about what I am drawing. This piece is very symbolic, and there is a little bit of a hint of what's truly going on in there. So if you have any guesses based on what I've said in this video, this drawing, little hints that I've sprinkled throughout all of it, I'm really curious what you would say is truly going on, and I want to read it in the comments. So if you are listening to this and have an idea, please leave it in the comments. I find it really interesting. I'd love to know. Otherwise, my Ko-Fi and Instagram are also in the description, and I will see you guys next time. All right? Have a very, very, very beautiful time, whatever it is, wherever you are, and I'll see you around, okay?